Belinda, back with the Daily News Africa, bringing you stories to entertain, inform, and inspire you.
We kick off today's segment with the Sudan, where floods have ravaged the country. Now, as the water levels begin to go down, some good Samaritans have come up and decided to do something about an impending pandemic.
After weeks of being at its highest level in a century, the Blue Nile is in retreat. Here on the island of Tuti in Khartoum, volunteers are pumping out water left behind. The island lies between the Blue and White Nile and is one of the areas in the capital worst affected by floods that have left hundreds of its people displaced.
Even if the Nile returns back to its normal level, the water that broke through the barriers we built and flooded the island won't disappear and will stay stagnant. It'll take months to dry out, and that will result in diseases. So we, the residents of the island, have volunteered and have been working in shifts for days to drain the water out.
He's one of dozens of volunteers working to help on the little island and one of hundreds across the country. The floods were caused by heavy rains in the south and on the Ethiopian highlands. More than 600,000 people were displaced and over 140,000 homes were damaged across Sudan. The government declared a 3-month state of emergency. While Sudan's government and aid organizations have responded to the emergency, volunteers have a crucial role. Most come from flood-affected areas. For them, repairing the damage done will mean they can return to their normal lives sooner. The volunteer group Nafir responds to floods each year, sending teams across the country to help distribute food and tents and help people in need. Some volunteers also piled sandbags to create barriers between villages and the river, and others provided medical aid to the injured. And other volunteers groups, such as Sudan Scouts, are spraying insecticide to kill mosquito larvae.
You know what this means, Belinda? It means there's still hope.
Yes.
As the world goes crazy this year, you know what 2020 hasn't done to us. It's just ridiculous. But to know that there's hope and people can come together without waiting for government, to come to their aid, it's just a good thing. And we're not on the government here to Yambe. They literally came together. And that's the only way we're going to survive. If we don't work together, we won't survive.
Absolutely. No, it's amazing. And like you said, it's very heartwarming that, there's still humanity out there, and people, regardless of what they're going through, are still being human and compassionate. So it's very heartwarming for me. And so yes, let's keep caring for each other and checking on our friends and family, even in hard times. It counts for something.
Yeah, it does. Now, on to the United States. The leader of the free world, Donald Trump, has blatantly refused to acknowledge a peaceful transition come the results of the elections November 3rd.
The peaceful transfer of power between presidents is a time-honored tradition dating back to America's founding. But it's one Donald Trump refuses to endorse should he lose the November election.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens.
On Thursday, citing fears of widespread ballot fraud and vote rigging, the U.S. president again cast doubt on whether he'll accept the results of the November poll.
We want to make sure the election is honest, and I'm not sure that it can be. I don't know that it can be with this whole situation, unsolicited ballots.
His press secretary says Trump will accept the results, but with conditions.
The president will accept the results of a free and fair election.
How exactly the White House defines free and fair is not clear, casting grave uncertainty over the integrity of the vote. Trump is particularly concerned with mail-in balloting, which states are offering so voters don't have to travel to the polls during the coronavirus pandemic. Top Republican and Democrat leaders in Congress on Thursday tried to reassure voters. On Twitter, Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, wrote, "There will be an orderly transition, just as there has been every 4 years since 1792. Democrat House Speaker Nancy Pelosi went further, criticizing Trump's failure to commit to a peaceful transition.
You are not in Saudi Arabia. You are in the United States of America. It is a democracy. So why don't you just try for a moment to honor your oath of office?
The controversy has added uncertainty and underscored fears that it could be weeks before the results of the November 3rd presidential election are known. Kimberly Helkett, Al Jazeera, the White House.
Wow. I mean, I could already see the headline. Leader of the free world clings to power. This is the United States.
Right.
The same one that's always sending their troops in and out of other countries,
Yes.
a lot of them in Africa, to
Right.
maintain peace when leaders cling to power.
We're about to send, our own troops to the United States to save, the people from themselves, because it's ridiculous what's happening. Like we as the African continent, look up to these people because, power is usually transferred and it's peaceful and, you accept the results.
Yes.
So for something like this to come up, you're like, but now, who are we supposed to look up to then?
Yes, yes. The winds of change are certainly blowing.
Yeah.
And so it remains to be seen if Trump, even though we know he's very unique, he's one of a kind.
Yes.
It remains to be seen whether there'll be a smooth election come November 3rd. Now, some good news for you coming out of Google is that they have updated maps to show how bad or not COVID-19 is in your area.
Google Maps is rolling out a new feature that allows users to see how prevalent COVID-19 cases are in the area. In the upper right-hand corner, users will see an option that says COVID-19 info. The data will show a 7-day average of new cases along with a label indicating if cases are trending lower or higher.
This is amazing,
Yes.
With a click of a button, you get to know the infection, rate of the area you're in.
Yeah.
And, you can cancel your plans without feeling guilty, you folks people and you. Anyway, guys, on a more serious note, this is such a great development because then we do not have to wait for the news, that comes out or the social media postings from the Ministry of Health. We just find out just like this,
Yes,
where you...
No, for sure. It's a very great. I mean, if you're a serial planner, like some people I
Yes.
know on this set, you
Yeah.
might, it will just be helpful for you to be able to plan.
Yeah, true.
Although I'm just really curious, if you are really that keen on, I don't know, where would you travel now? Guys, travel if you must. If you must.
But
And
travel where? I think within the country is fine.
well, I guess within, yes, within. For sure it is, yes. But if you must travel, hey, Google Maps is there for you, so check it out. It's all color-coded and everything. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Meanwhile, people still do not understand why they are being told to wear masks.
Yeah.
But that's a story for another day.
No, for sure.
That's a story for another day. And just a simple disclaimer. If this app is not available in your country or this Google update, please don't come for us.
Yeah.
This is just, we're
hold
here
it
to
against us.
we're here to inform you guys and entertain you guys.
Yes. Yes. And it will come soon, eventually. Anyway, that's been it from us this week. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again, same time, same place next week as we bring you more stories making headlines in and around Africa.
Yeah,
From
and
us.
remember
Yes.
to wear your mask,
Yes.
social distance, make sure you sanitize, wash your hands because COVID is still out there.
Yeah.
Stay safe and have a good week.
Goodbye.